This morning on The Dish, we take you to London to meet one of the city's most distinctive chefs. British-born Andrew Wong is awarded his second Michelin star this year for his unique interpretation of the cuisine of China. Wong meticulously researches traditions and tastes across the vast nation and brings the wealth of detail and history to every dish he creates. Imtiaz Tyab went to meet him and sample some true delights.
Put a little bit in a box, each one.
There is precision, and then there is Andrew Wong's precision. The British-born Chinese chef channels 3,000 years of Chinese cooking technique into his 21st century innovations. His restaurant, A. Wong, won its first Michelin star in 2017 and a second this year, the first time a Chinese restaurant outside of Asia has received such an honor.
Roger, why do we have a knife and fork on the table? What are we trying to say about myself and my guest?
We met up to discuss his life, career, and what inspires him.
Well, let's start from the beginning. Who's Andrew Wong?
I was born in London. My parents, my father's side of the family is from Sichuan, and my mother is from Hong Kong. And to tell you the truth, I never imagined I would become a chef. Being a chef isn't exactly the occupation of choice.
No, not for the child of immigrants.
For the children of immigrants, exactly.
Wong's family business was in restaurants, but his parents wanted him to get an education.
So I initially studied chemistry at Oxford.
I mean, your parents must have been pretty happy about that.
Right until I got kicked out.
Why?
Well, I had quite a poor attendance record.
Switching to anthropology, Wong was at the London School of Economics when his father, who had run the family restaurant for years, suddenly died.
When my father passed away, it was a realization that I had to grow up, and I had to grow up fast.
That restaurant is now the location of his own eatery, named after his parents, Albert and Annie.
And I remember for the first years that I was a chef, my mum didn't want to tell people that I was good. I was like, oh, he's still deciding whether he wants to go to law school. But actually, she's been a great support for me. I mean, she's the first one to tell me when I'm doing things wrong.
She does.
Obviously, always, right? Always.
For Michelin star judges, there's little the chef can do wrong. His take on the Cantonese brunch time staple dim sum, which translates as touching heart, is an assortment of small plates, steamed, savory, and fried.
I'm staring at what looks like grass and what look like mushrooms.
So it's a bun. It's a steamed bun. It's a steamed bun. Inside is mushrooms.
Okay.
And again, it's just to be playful. You know, dim sum is meant to be playful. Yeah. You know, people are meant to sit around a table, have a laugh.
Wong takes even the humblest of ingredients and supercharges them with flavor.
I have my eye on what looks like a seashell.
The chicken wing.
It's a chicken wing.
The chicken wing. So it's a chicken wing that's been marinated in fermented bean curd.
Wow. And what's that on top of it?
It's basically diced up snail with ginger and garlic and chili.
Okay, so I'll take that.
But there are 2 bones in that wing.
There are, okay. Because, so it's like a proper chicken wing.
Yeah, because it's like sacrilege to be removing bones from a chicken wing in Chinese culture. Yeah.
Do you feel like this really represents you as a British-born Chinese person?
You know, I'm not an expert on Chinese food, but I'd like to think that I'm aspiring to be an expert on my Chinese food and the Chinese food that we serve at A. Wong. And that's all I can really answer for as a chef and as someone who has come from a background of Chineseness within an international city.
Collaborating with food anthropologist Dr. Mukta Das, Wong frequently travels to China to explore Chinese food history, recipes, and ingredients. But he hasn't forgotten the community he grew up with in London.
We're in the middle of a global pandemic. It's been pretty tough for a lot of Chinese restaurants, family restaurants. How are you feeling at this moment?
You know, initially back in March, there was this stigma of the Chinese community. And there was the knee-jerk reaction. You know, if you looked at my friends in Chinatown, for example, their restaurants were completely empty, right? But the glimmer of hope that I saw was that when restaurants reopened, actually people went back to Chinese restaurants very, very quickly. But I do think that nowadays Chinese cuisine and Chinese culture is an important part of British culture.
For Wong and his family, food is at the heart of that.
You've said this before, this is your dad's restaurant. It's now yours. It's doing phenomenally well. What do you think your dad would have made of all of this?
That's a hard one. Because he would have been proud of what we've achieved.
You just wouldn't say it.
But he would not have been proud for the journey it took to get here. Because he much would have preferred me to be a doctor.
Even still, with 2 Michelin stars.
I think so. I have the sauce for the potato.
For CBS This Morning Saturday, Imtiaz Tyab, London.
The sauce of the tapioca.
2 Michelin stars aside, though, I'm telling you, I cannot wait to dive into that
It looks
next
amazing.
trip, right? Okay.
Love it. Let's do it. A. Wong, next
right.
time we go to,
right.
to
And-
London there. I'll tell you what, though. That's a hardcore dad, right?
Yeah.
two Michelin stars, and he's wouldn't be thrilled with that. It's pretty amazing.
When you're the child of immigrants like that, though, because doctor is a known career path. Michelin stars are not commonplace
Yeah,
necessarily.
yeah.
so.
But I have to tell you, that voice of his, love it.